What if a small nation, one often celebrated for its majestic mountains, its incredible cultural heritage, could fundamentally transform its economic future, like leapfrogging decades of traditional development to become maybe a global powerhouse of digital innovation and talent?
It sounds incredibly ambitious, doesn't it?
It really does. But that's precisely the bold vision we're unpacking today.
It is, and it's a vision that, well, it goes beyond just aspiration, I think. We're diving deep into this fascinating concept of building a Skype moment in Nepal.
A Skype moment.
Yeah, and this isn't about creating just another successful tech company, you see. It's really about igniting a profound national movement.
Okay.
Strategically leveraging Nepal's immense human capital to propel the country directly into the heart of the global digital economy. Think of it maybe as a blueprint for a nation to redefine its whole place in the 21st century.
And to guide us through this, ambitious landscape, we've gathered a really insightful stack of sources. These aren't just, speculative articles.
No, definitely not.
They're a series of pieces offering a pretty grounded analysis of Nepal's current business environment, its undeniable potential for digital transformation, and, maybe most importantly, the practical, actionable steps needed to turn this extraordinary vision into, a tangible reality.
Right. And our mission in this deep dive is, I think, pretty clear. We really want to extract the core insights from these sources, helping you, our listener, grasp how a nation currently quite reliant on remittances can strategically pivot.
Pivot towards becoming digitally self-sufficient.
Exactly. We'll explore the fascinating challenges, and there are challenges, but also the unique opportunities that lie on this transformative path. We want to reveal why Nepal might just be, perfectly poised for such a profound shift. Okay, let's unpack this and explore what makes this vision so compelling.
Let's start with that audacious central idea. Nepal's Skype moment, envisioned not just as an economic uplift, but as a genuine national pivot. Now, for those who might not immediately recall, Skype, that revolutionary internet communication tool, famously emerged from Estonia, early 2000s.
That's right. And its impact went far, far beyond just connecting people across continents.
Right.
Skype's birth in Estonia wasn't just like a corporate success story. It fundamentally redefined Estonia's global standing. It was this powerful signal flare to the world.
The signal flare.
Yeah, proving that a relatively tiny country, one that maybe didn't possess vast natural resources or huge traditional capital, but was rich in talent, engineering skill, and a really forward-thinking digital mindset, could indeed create something truly world-changing. Skype didn't just, facilitate global communication. It put Estonia squarely on the global tech map in a totally new and unexpected way. It fostered this national identity deeply rooted in digital innovation.
And the direct parallel drawn in our sources for Nepal is, it's incredibly striking. They suggest that a Skype born out of Nepal would achieve something profoundly similar. It wouldn't simply be another successful product or company. It would fundamentally serve as a national pivot point. That phrase really hammers home the truly transformative scale of this ambition. It's about a nation shifting its very identity.
Precisely. The implications here are just monumental. They extend far beyond typical economic metrics. This isn't just about a company generating profits. It's about fundamentally reshaping Nepal's core identity and its economic backbone.
Okay.
Imagine moving from being a remittance-dependent country where, as we'll get into, a huge chunk of its GDP is built on money sent home by citizens working abroad to becoming a digital value-generating nation.
That's a huge shift in narrative.
It's a reimagination of national pride, isn't it? Picture a generation growing up, seeing their country celebrated not just for its physical grandeur, the Himalayas, but for its intellectual prowess, attracting global tech talent, showcasing indigenous innovation. It changes the whole story from one of necessity-driven migration to one of opportunity-driven creation at home. This shift is about exporting high-value intellectual capital rather than just, labor.
And it's really crucial to understand, isn't it, that this Nepali Skype might not be a communication app at all.
Not necessarily, no. The sources are very clear on this.
Okay.
The Skype moment is more of a metaphor for a category-defining enterprise. It could manifest as something totally different, perhaps even more foundational.
Like what, for example?
Well, it could be a global digital talent platform. maybe a sophisticated cloud-based productivity tool, or even an operating system designed specifically for remote teams. The key is how it packages Nepal's workforce as a service,
Ah, I see.
leveraging their skills in a digitally exportable, high-value way. That's the core.
That makes sense. So it's not just an app.
No, exactly. The ambition here is truly massive. It's not envisioned as just a singular application or product, but as a genuine movement
The move.
and a sprawling global enterprise. This movement, as outlined in the sources, would be powered by several interconnected, highly strategic components. First, you'd have dedicated Nepal-based operations and training hubs. That's the physical and educational core infrastructure.
Okay, the base in Nepal.
Right. Then, and this is a truly unique advantage, you have the crucial involvement of the Nepali diaspora.
The people living abroad.
Exactly. And they're not just observers, they're envisioned as active investors and advisors from all around the world. These are globally educated individuals, deeply rooted in their heritage.
Right.
They bring not only essential capital, but also invaluable expertise, global networks, and a deep understanding of international markets and, best practices.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
And critically, the seamless integration of AI-powered tools. These aren't just for efficiency. They're designed to be integral to everything, from advanced quality control to dramatically scaling operations.
So AI is baked in from the start.
Absolutely. AI ensures that the services provided are consistently high quality, efficient, and capable of rapid expansion. And finally, the target market is clearly global. Clients from major markets like the US, Europe, the Middle East, Asia. This isn't just a regional thing. It's a worldwide play for digital market share.
Okay, so global ambition, diaspora involvement, AI integration. But here's where the vision really broadens, right?
Yeah.
Because the sources propose an even bigger play than just building one single product.
They do.
They suggest the real transformative goal might be to build an infrastructure layer for remote knowledge work at scale. And they use this incredibly powerful analogy. Think of it as a Foxconn for knowledge workers.
That's an incredibly insightful comparison, isn't it? And it really shifts the paradigm.
How so?
Well, Foxconn, as many know, is famous for manufacturing electronics for countless global brands. They provide the foundational production infrastructure.
Right, for Apple and many others.
Exactly. This vision for Nepal is about creating a similar enabling environment and a standardized process to produce not just one product, but potentially thousands of miniscapes.
Thousands, wow.
Essentially, countless small to medium-sized digital service providers or specialized tech teams, all leveraging this foundational, centralized infrastructure. It's about empowering an entire ecosystem.
Not just one big winner.
Precisely. Fostering a dynamic marketplace of digital services rather than relying on a single dominant product. It's truly a platform for a nation to participate in and maybe even lead within the global digital economy. Imagine the scale of entrepreneurship and digital export that could emerge from that. It kind of democratizes access to global markets for individual Nepali talents and smaller enterprises.
So why Nepal? What makes this nation, the one we often associate with Everest and stunning scenery, what makes it uniquely positioned for such an audacious leap into the digital age?
It really comes down to two often underestimated assets. Its demographics and the extraordinary strength of its global diaspora.
Okay, let's break that down. Demographics first.
Right. Currently, Nepal's economy, while it is growing, is heavily influenced by remittances. The sources detail this current situation where over a third of Nepal's working-age population is living and working abroad.
Over a third. That's huge.
It is, and they're sending home a staggering sum over $9 billion annually.
$9 billion.
Yeah. To put that in perspective, in some recent years, remittances have actually constituted nearly a quarter of Nepal's entire GDP.
Wow. Okay, that's clearly a massive lifeline. Crucial economic stability for families. A boost to the national economy.
Absolutely. But the sources highlight this as a potent double-edged sword. They call it both a blessing and, simultaneously, a significant brain drain.
The brain drain aspect.
Exactly. Because while that incoming money is absolutely crucial for immediate economic security and, consumption, the departure of so many skilled and ambitious young people represents a long-term loss, a loss of vital human capital within the country.
Right, it impacts productivity at home.
It does. It stifles innovation, limits the growth of local industries. Yet, paradoxically, this outward migration has also built something incredibly valuable, something unique. A globally distributed talent pool of immense potential.
And this is where the strength of the Nepali diaspora comes back in. as a strategic asset.
Absolutely. The sources really emphasize this. Tens of thousands of Nepalis haven't just studied but excelled at top global universities. They mention places like Harvard, MIT, Oxford, NUS in Singapore, the IITs in India.
Wow, top-tier institutions.
Definitely. And these individuals have since gone on to work in leading roles across tech, finance, academia, development sectors all over the world. This isn't just, a few anecdotes. It's a significant, strategically underutilized asset for Nepal, a ready-made network of knowledge, capital, and global connections.
So you have this amazing resource outside the country. What about inside Nepal?
Well, the potential within Nepal itself is also immense. The sources note that a significant portion of Nepalis at home are actually underemployed.
Underemployed, meaning they could do more.
Exactly. They possess latent capacity, a strong work ethic, a genuine willingness to contribute, but they simply lack suitable, high-value opportunities. And crucially, a large percentage of this population is digitally connected, often via smartphones.
Which is key for this kind of transformation.
Fundamental prerequisite. They are digitally aware, even if not yet digitally skilled.
And here's the real game-changing insight, isn't it? The sources state that even high school graduates can be trained for many digital and AI-enhanced tasks.
That's the kicker.
This isn't about needing an elite few with PhDs.
No, it's about unlocking the potential of a vast, receptive, and highly trainable workforce. It dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for a national upskilling initiative. It makes the vision of training hundreds of thousands of digital workers seem genuinely achievable.
Which brings us to this fascinating concept, finding opportunity in what look like constraints.
Right. Nepal certainly has its limitations. We're talking about challenges like, poor physical infrastructure, historically limited access to traditional capital, and that brain drain we just discussed. These are not small hurdles.
Definitely not.
But the sources argue that these very constraints, when you look at them through a different lens, can actually be reframed as powerful advantages.
How so? Like the cost of living.
Exactly. The comparatively low cost of living in Nepal directly translates to globally competitive wage rates for remote knowledge work. For international companies looking to optimize operational costs without sacrificing quality or, importantly, ethical standards, this is an incredibly attractive proposition.
Makes sense. What else?
Well, consider the time zone overlap. Nepal is ideally positioned for pretty seamless real-time collaboration with European businesses.
Okay.
And it's quite manageable for businesses operating in the U.S., especially with async work models becoming more common. It allows for effective communication across continents.
Right.
Combine that with a remarkably youthful demographic, eager to learn new skills, profoundly eager to earn a dignified living, and you have a highly motivated, adaptable workforce.
Plus, those strong diaspora links we talked about aren't just about potential investment dollars, are they?
No, not at all. They provide invaluable global connections, access to established networks, and what the sources call powerful soft power assets.
Soft power assets.
Yeah, meaning a ready-made network of advocates, potential business developers, mentors who intimately understand both the Nepali context and the intricacies of global markets. It's almost like a strategic shortcut for global expansion, built on cultural ties and shared ambition.
That's a great way to put it.
The sources draw another powerful analogy here, which I think captures the essence. What Estonia had in code, Nepal can develop in people.
Ah, interesting. So it's human capital focused.
Exactly. This isn't about replicating Estonia's exact technological blueprint, but rather building an army of trained knowledge workers integrated into global value chains. It's about leveraging their most abundant, yet currently underutilized, resource their people in a highly strategic and globally competitive way.
So how does this ambitious vision actually start to take shape? Let's talk phase one, getting it off the ground, the blueprint for a global startup.
Right. And the sources suggest a foundational playbook that, interestingly, doesn't start by trying to immediately build the next Skype-like consumer app.
Okay, so not aiming for the big hit right away.
Not exactly. That's a crucial strategic insight. The initial viable model, as articulated in the sources, is to build a robust system that creates thousands of mini Skypes rather than trying to be the singular Skype.
Build the factory before the product, almost.
Kind of, yeah. This approach focuses on constructing the enabling infrastructure, the training, the vetting, the matchmaking mechanisms that empower countless smaller digital service providers and teams to emerge and thrive globally. It's a foundational, platform-oriented play designed for ecosystem growth.
And they propose a pretty smart hybrid model, right?
Yeah.
Combining elements from successful global talent platforms.
They do. It's quite ingenious. You can think of it as taking the vast global talent marketplace idea of, say, Upwork,
Okay.
then fusing it with the rigorous talent training and placement methodology you see in models like Andela.
Right, which focuses heavily on vetting and training.
Exactly. And critically, it incorporates cutting-edge principles from platforms like Turing, which use AI quite extensively for sophisticated job matching, ongoing performance monitoring, and advanced quality control.
So AI is managing the matching and quality.
In large part, yes. So the core function of this initial startup would be to rigorously train, expertly vet, and then strategically deploy Nepali and potentially even Indian talent globally.
Okay.
And this deployment would be augmented by integrated AI-enhanced productivity tools, robust local infrastructure support in Nepal, and, vitally, client success guarantees. These are designed to build immense trust and ensure high satisfaction with international partners.
That model sounds like it offers some immediate, very practical benefits.
It does, which is crucial for building early momentum and validating the whole concept. Firstly, it's designed to generate revenue from day one.
From day one.
Through B2B services and platform fees. This isn't some long-shot, venture-backed gamble that needs years of burning cash. It aims for quick commercial viability and, ideally, self-sustainability.
That's important. What else?
Secondly, and maybe most importantly for Nepal itself, it directly creates high-value jobs that actually stay within the country.
Countering the brain drain directly.
Exactly. Keeping talent, skills, and the economic benefits of their labor at home, strengthening the domestic economy. Thirdly, it actively builds a robust pipeline of future founders, skilled engineers, experienced operators.
So it seeds the future ecosystem.
Precisely. Organically nurturing a thriving local tech ecosystem from the ground up. And finally, this incremental approach allows for the development of crucial institutional knowledge and operational playbooks.
Learning by doing.
Right. This deep practical understanding can then be leveraged to incubate and successfully launch those maybe more ambitious product unicorns further down the line. It's about building capabilities incrementally and sustainably, validating each step.
Now, a really strategic element seems to be about India. Not competing against India, but working with them.
Absolutely. That's a key insight. India is already, an undisputed global powerhouse in BPO and IT services. The smart play, as the sources articulate, isn't to engage in a head-on fight.
Which would be tough for Nepal starting out.
Incredibly difficult for a nascent ecosystem. The strategy is instead to integrate with Indian scale while simultaneously differentiating with Nepali resilience and pricing.
Okay, integrate and differentiate. How would that look structurally?
Well, the proposed structure reflects this nuance. Core training and back-end operations would be meticulously developed and based in Nepal.
Okay, the engine is in Nepal.
Right. And then crucial elements like sales, high-level tech leadership, those could be strategically based in India or even the West. Leveraging existing market access, established expertise, proximity to major clients.
Makes sense.
The overall brand and marketing would, of course, be global. This structure allows India perhaps to handle the sheer volume, the more commoditized services.
While Nepal focuses elsewhere?
Exactly. Nepal focuses on more specialized knowledge work, providing truly white glove support and cultivating deep, long-term client relationships.
White glove support. Can you elaborate on that? What does that mean practically?
Sure. We're talking about highly personalized service, dedicated account management, maybe a more proactive approach to client needs that goes beyond just standard transactional interactions. It's about fostering deep, trust-based partnerships that really differentiate Nepal in what is, let's face it, a crowded global market, adding that layer of quality and relationship.
Okay, I get it. No, funding. Where does the initial seed capital come from? They're looking at the diaspora again.
Very much so. That's seen as a key source. The sources describe this diaspora as not only wealthy and highly skilled, but crucially, deeply emotionally connected to Nepal's future.
All right, that connection is key.
It's not just pure business. It's about a shared national vision, a profound sense of cultural investment.
And the initial funding target, is it huge?
Surprisingly modest, actually, given the scale of ambition. The sources mention an initial target of around $1–2 million for a pre-seed round.
Okay, $1–2 million. Who are the potential investors within that diaspora?
It's incredibly diverse. You're looking at successful tech executives in the US and UK, accomplished doctors and engineers in Australia and the Gulf, even influential development professionals within the UN and World Bank networks. Plus, those powerful alumni networks from the top universities we mentioned
It's a
earlier.
broad base.
Yeah, which ensures resilience and diverse expertise, not just relying on one
Get
sector.
into the pitch to them. It's not charity, right?
Definitely not. The sources quote it directly, and it's a powerful framing. We're not asking you to donate. We're asking you to invest in building the next Estonia starting in Nepal.
Wow, that's a strong pitch.
It explicitly frames it as a genuine return-driven investment opportunity in a transformative national project. It appeals to both financial and emotional returns.
Okay, so they get the seed funding. How do they start generating revenue quickly? What services are they launching first?
To get off the ground swiftly and prove the model, the initial focus would be on high-impact, low-cost services, specifically centered around AI-augmented business process outsourcing, or BPO, work.
AI-augmented BPO.
Yeah, this is where the immediate revenue generation and job creation really kick in.
What kind of specific BPO tasks are we talking about?
Well, concrete examples given include things like precise data labeling for machine learning models, accurate transcription services, nuanced content moderation, efficient CRM customer relationship management, and responsive virtual assistants. These are all tasks where initial training can be relatively fast and the global demand is pretty consistent.
And this ties back to the high school ready workforce idea.
Directly. The sources specifically highlight tasks like efficient document summarization, empathetic help desk support, simple code testing, and thorough translation quality assurance.
Okay.
Work that a motivated, digitally literate high school graduate can genuinely be trained to perform effectively and quickly reach global quality standards.
But the real differentiator is the AI augmented part, right?
Yeah.
How does that work?
That's the element that elevates this beyond traditional BPO. By meticulously training workers in these new AI-integrated processes, the sources make a bold claim that one person becomes the productivity of three.
One becomes three.
Well, think about it. It's not about AI replacing workers. It's about AI dramatically enhancing their capabilities and efficiency. For instance, in data labeling, maybe AI pre-sorts or identifies anomalies, allowing a human reviewer to handle 3 times the volume with potentially higher accuracy.
Okay, I see.
Or in customer service, AI-powered chatbots might handle the routine, simple queries, freeing up human agents for the really complex, nuanced problem-solving. That boosts both efficiency and the value of the human interaction.
That makes a lot of sense. But, okay, while this vision is incredibly inspiring, we have to talk about the realities on the ground in Nepal, right?
Absolutely crucial. And the sources provide a very candid, very realistic assessment of the current landscape. They detail both the opportunities and the very significant challenges that need careful navigation. This isn't some utopian dream. It's a pragmatic blueprint for a complex environment.
Right. So let's dive into those systemic challenges. First up, the ease of doing business. Where does Nepal stand?
Well, Nepal has shown some incremental improvements over the years, and interestingly, the World Bank's Be Ready 2024 report even points to its relative excellence in operational efficiency.
Operational efficiency, meaning day-to-day stuff is easier.
Kind of. It means firms find it comparatively easier to comply with daily regulations compared to some other aspects, but, and this is a big but, significant structural challenges persist.
Yes.
The report indicates ongoing hurdles in areas like facilitating international trade, ensuring truly robust market competition, and establishing streamlined processes for business insolvency or failure. These are deeper structural issues that can make it tough for new businesses, especially globally focused ones, to thrive without very specific adaptations.
And then there's the issue of political corruption that's often mentioned.
It is, and it's a very real, very significant hurdle that can undermine trust and efficiency. Transparency International's 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index rated Nepal at 34 out of 100.
34 out of 100, that's quite low.
It is. It placed it 107th out of 180 countries globally. A score like that indicates a high level of perceived public sector corruption.
Which complicates things like getting permits, fair contracts.
Exactly. Everything from obtaining licenses to securing fair contracts, enforcing legal agreements, it adds friction. So, given this, how do the sources suggest a global, maybe diaspora-backed initiative like this builds trust and operates effectively?
Yeah, how do they navigate that?
That's precisely the kind of nuanced thinking needed. The sources seem to imply this venture would need to operate with extreme transparency. Leveraging its global diaspora connections could build credibility that might, perhaps, bypass some of the traditional, slower bureaucratic channels.
Using networks and reputation?
Right. They'd likely prioritize digital-first processes to minimize human intervention points where corruption might occur, and focus on B2B clients who value efficiency and clean operations above all else.
Okay, what about infrastructure and energy? Still challenges.
They remain persistent challenges, yes. While the government has significantly prioritized infrastructure development, issues like neglected road networks, underdeveloped public transit, they still pose practical problems for logistics connectivity, especially outside the main cities.
And energy. I know they have hydropower potential.
They do, an impressive installed capacity around 3,505 megawatts. But ironically, Nepal still faces the need to import electricity from India to meet peak winter demands.
So potential for unreliable power.
It can be an issue. Intermittent or unreliable power supply can obviously severely impact businesses relying on a consistent 247 operations for digital services.
Then there's the skilled workforce shortage, the brain drain we talked about.
Still a major factor. It isn't just about people leaving. It's often the perception that better or more stable opportunities lie abroad. This directly impacts domestic company productivity and, ironically, the long-term economic security of the families left behind, who then become reliant on those remittances. It's a cycle.
And finally, access to capital, always a challenge for entrepreneurs.
Globally, yes, but particularly acute in Nepal, according to the sources. While it's crucial for any startup, many Nepali entrepreneurs struggle immensely because traditional banks often demand significant collateral.
Which startups usually don't have, especially tech startups.
Exactly. Tangible assets are often limited. This stifles organic innovation and grassroots growth from within, making that external capital, like from the diaspora, even more vital.
Okay, so those are broad challenges. Did the specific Skype source highlight any direct obstacles particularly relevant to this digital vision?
It did. Several specific points. Lingering connectivity bottlenecks are mentioned, although they do acknowledge potential solutions like Starlink or deeper partnerships with Indian internet providers are emerging.
What else?
Practical hurdles like visa barriers. These can hinder international training programs or bringing in key experts for collaboration.
Right.
Inconsistent logistics for physical goods, less relevant maybe for purely digital services, but it affects the broader ecosystem. And importantly, fragmented or complex payment gateways for handling international transactions smoothly.
Getting paid easily is pretty fundamental.
Absolutely. The lack of readily available startup capital locally and a generally risk-averse investment appetite within the country are also major factors, as are sometimes rigid, outdated education systems that don't always align quickly enough with the fast-changing demands of the digital economy.
Okay, that's a lot of hurdles. Practical hurdles demanding innovative solutions.
Which brings us neatly to the counter strategies, because the sources don't just list problems, they meticulously outline tailored strategies for success, specifically within the Nepali context.
Adapting to the reality.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring the problems, but about ingeniously adapting to them. First, leveraging local networks. This isn't just a nice to have.
It's a set.
Absolutely crucial, according to the sources. Building strong, authentic relationships with local stakeholders, community leaders, government officials, established business figures can be instrumental in navigating bureaucracy, accessing local resources, and fostering genuine community buy-in. It's about deep local understanding, respect, and collaboration.
Okay, local networks first. What's next?
Second, focusing on social impact can be a powerful differentiator. Businesses that actively address pressing social issues, enhancing education, improving healthcare, fostering sustainable energy, they can attract support from a much broader ecosystem.
Like NGOs and international organizations.
Precisely. And impact investors. This often comes with not just funding, but also strategic partnerships and invaluable credibility. It aligns incentives.
Third strategy.
Third, and perhaps most reflective of the necessary entrepreneurial spirit there, is the imperative to adapt to resource constraints.
Yeah.
This isn't just about cutting costs. It means innovative solutions are key to making incredibly efficient use of limited resources. Capital-intensive models are less likely to succeed initially.
So lean and agile is the way.
Highly favored, yes. More likely to thrive. And finally, a direct solution to the brain drain problem, investing heavily in skill development.
Training their own people.
Right. This strategy directly mitigates the skilled workforce shortage by building capabilities at home. It also fosters immense employee loyalty through professional growth and ultimately creates a more capable, stable, locally rooted talent pool.
What's fascinating here is how these strategies seem to contrast with, say, traditional business school approaches, like Harvard Business School.
It's a stark contrast, isn't it? The HBS approach, for example, often emphasizes highly scalable, sometimes capital-intensive models, extensive market analysis, a strong focus on investor relations, often operating under an implicit assumption of, access to a $10 million seed round as a starting point.
Which is just not the reality for most entrepreneurs in Nepal.
Exactly, a fundamentally different starting point. The sources argue compellingly that the Nepali context demands a much more nuanced, adaptable approach. It's not just textbook business acumen. It's about navigating a truly unique and dynamic environment. Resilience is absolutely key.
Resilience above all.
Well, it's a huge emphasis. Entrepreneurs in Nepal must be inherently prepared to adapt rapidly to political shifts, economic instability, unforeseen shocks. It's not just a best practice, it's a fundamental survival trait. Successful ventures are often those that can pivot quickly and maintain operations even amidst uncertainty.
And community engagement is more important than just market analysis.
Seems so. Success often hinges on deep, authentic involvement with local communities, an empathetic understanding of local needs and cultural nuances, rather than just a top-down, purely economic view. It's about building with the community. And given those capital constraints, businesses often need to focus on incremental, sustainable growth, not necessarily rapid, venture-backed scaling at all costs. Build steadily, validate with smaller wins, prove viability through organic expansion and profitability. That sets the stage for more ambitious phases later.
So what does this all boil down to for you, our listener, and for Nepal's journey? It sounds like success there requires a very specific mindset.
It does. Thinking globally, operating with world-class standards, absolutely. But scaling strategically from a position of constraint. Building lean and resilient from day one. It's a different kind of entrepreneurial path, one that really prioritizes ingenuity and adaptation.
Okay, so once this foundational model is proven, they get those early wins. The vision shifts to phase 2, right? Scaling with purpose, aiming for national impact.
Exactly. And the scaling goals outlined are truly remarkable in their scope.
The big one seems to be training 100,000 digital workers in 3 years.
That's the headline target. Audacious, isn't it?
It's massive. That's not just a few jobs. It's a fundamental, widespread upskilling of a significant chunk of the workforce. The collective impact could be enormous.
And to achieve that kind of scale, the plan involves strategic, deeply integrated partnerships, working with public schools, vocational institutes across the country.
Embedding it in the existing system?
Right. Offering fast-track, practical upskilling programs that are accessible. This integrates the digital training directly into the existing educational infrastructure, ensuring broad reach, accessibility, and legitimacy.
And they're aiming to build a specific kind of work culture, too.
Yes, meticulously building an AI-first, remote-first work culture from the ground up. This isn't just about using the tools, it's fostering a mindset.
Agility, flexibility.
Global connectivity, preparing the workforce for the most cutting-edge demands of the future of work.
The scaling strategy also involves decentralization, moving beyond just Kathmandu.
A deliberate and strategic move.
Yeah.
Opening new training and operational centers in other cities, Pokhara, Butwal, Itahari are mentioned.
Why is that important?
It's explicitly aimed at promoting digital migration within borders, directly addressing and reversing the brain drain by creating high-value opportunities where youth already live, allowing them to contribute without having to leave their families and communities.
That makes perfect sense. And this whole strategy seems timed perfectly with global remote work trends.
Absolutely. The world is increasingly embracing async work, distributed teams, freelance to full-time pipelines, and of course the integration of AI plus human hybrid roles everywhere.
So Nepal could become a sort of fulfillment center for this new way of working.
That's exactly the framing. A dedicated fulfillment zone for the AI-era workplace. Imagine the impact of a whole nation specializing in providing these essential, high-value digital services globally, leveraging both human ingenuity and AI efficiency.
What specific tasks could these trained youth be doing?
The sources give concrete examples. Things like prompting and fine-tuning AI tools for specific client needs, managing complex remote customer relationships with empathy, offering product onboarding and virtual sales support, even building, testing, and maintaining code and data pipelines for tech companies.
So not just basic tasks, but higher value knowledge work.
Definitely. It requires both technical skill and human nuance. The sources actually call this innovative model labor saws, a vertically integrated talent solution for the AI-first economy.
Labor saws. That's sketchy.
And they fundamentally believe this model is so compelling, so aligned with global trends that it could attract significant impact-driven VC funding, potentially creating a whole new category of national economic development.
The ultimate goal here, this Skype moment, it really extends beyond just the immediate economic gains, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's aiming for a much grander transformation.
Absolutely. Economic, social, and a deeper, more influential global integration for Nepal. It's about national identity and human flourishing, not just the balance sheet.
So economically, the big impact is reducing that remittance dependence.
Fundamentally, strategically replacing it with consistent earned income from exporting high-value digital services. It pivots the nation's economic foundation to a far more sustainable, diversified, value-added model, building long-term resilience.
And the ripple effects. Higher productivity, bigger tax base.
Exactly. Directly increases national productivity, expands the national tax base, providing more resources for public services and further development. And, as we discussed, its compelling nature could attract significant global VC and impact investment, further fueling innovation.
What about the social transformation? That sounds equally profound.
Perhaps even more deeply impactful. By offering flexible remote work, this inherently empowers women, rural youth, marginalized communities, people who might traditionally have very limited access to formal, high-value employment,
Opening doors.
and fostering a dynamic culture of digital ambition, continuous learning, entrepreneurship throughout the population, changing aspirations.
And crucially, keeping families together.
Yes. By creating these dignified, well-paying opportunities right at home, it helps keep families and communities intact, significantly reducing that often painful need for labor migration abroad. The social benefits are immense, immeasurable, strengthening the whole social fabric.
And globally, how does this change Nepal's position?
It would profoundly elevate Nepal's international brand. It wouldn't just be known for mountains, spirituality, tourism. It'd be known as a hub for clean, ethical, reliable, high-quality digital services.
Tech diplomacy, as the source called it.
Exactly, building significant soft power, making Nepal known globally for its mines, its innovation, its digital prowess, alongside its natural wonders. It's a complete redefinition on the world stage.
This whole vision, it really feels like a new model for development in the 21st century. It raises that provocative question they posed.
What if, instead of waiting for traditional foreign aid, Nepal created its own digital Marshall Plan?
Right. Not about handouts, but self-reliance, strategic investment in people, sovereign economic destiny.
And it really emphasizes that idea that Nepal could leapfrog ahead, not by just copying Silicon Valley,
But by inventing something uniquely suited to its own strengths, culture, and constraints.
Exactly. Fostering innovation born of necessity, ingenuity, and a deep understanding of its own potential.
So to achieve this transformation, what are the absolute essential ingredients? The sources recap them. Right.
They do, quite clearly. First, the critical need for founders with both that global vision and deep local roots, people who get both Silicon Valley speed and Kathmandu reality. That bridge is crucial.
Second, the capital, non-traditional sources.
Paramount. Leveraging diaspora angels, global development funds, impact investors who seek both financial and social returns. Acknowledging the unique funding landscape and harnessing that diaspora commitment.
Third, government support has to be there.
Proactive policy alignment is vital. Fostering a supportive environment, ensuring internet access, maybe startup visas, strong public-private partnerships, a national commitment to digital literacy. Government as an enabler, not just a regulator.
Fourth, building the institutions.
Robust institutional infrastructure, yes. Modern AI-enabled training academies that adapt, dynamic startup accelerators, agile policy think tanks to guide the strategy.
And finally, those early wins are super important.
Immensely important. Even generating just, say, $1 million in annual revenue from a few dozen global clients can powerfully validate the whole model, build momentum, prove the concept, attract the next wave of investment.
So ultimately, this isn't just about creating a unicorn company, a billion-dollar startup.
No, though that might well emerge. The sources conclude it's about something far more profound, a national rebirth built one knowledge worker at a time.
Wow.
It's a grassroots, human-centric approach to national transformation, empowering individuals to collectively reshape their nation's future.
So you've heard about Nepal's audacious vision becoming the world's greatest talent cloud, transforming its future one knowledge worker at a time, moving from reliance to self-sufficiency. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world increasingly driven by digital services, AI, distributed workforces, what other nations, maybe ones we often overlook, might be sitting on their own untapped Skype moments, waiting for just that right blend of vision, talent, and strategic leverage to truly transform their own economic and social futures? What stands out to you about this unique approach to national development, and how might similar models, perhaps adapted, be applicable elsewhere?